Thank you so much for joining us today. My name is Ashleigh Childs, and I'm the Family and Consumer Science Agent in Thomas County. And I've been invited today to present with Becca Stackhouse, the Family and Consumer Science Agent in Crisp County. And we are doing a made-at-home healthy oils edition series. And we're just going to be discussing different types of cooking oils, give you some tasty recipes, talk a little bit about the flavor and nutritional profiles of these oils. And then Becca is actually going to demonstrate how to prepare these recipes. So today our focus is going to be on Benne oil, which is a sesame oil. But first we're going to review some of the nutrition information in case you happen to miss our last session. So just to get started, we refer to these as heart-healthy cooking oils because the dietary guidelines for Americans recommend that adult women get 1.5 tablespoons and adult men get 2 to 2.5 tablespoons of oils each day. The Food and Drug Administration, or more commonly referred to as FDA, recommends that no more than 30% of the food that you eat should make up the calories that you have each day from fat. So if you think about your total calorie intake, only about 30% of the calories that you eat should come from fat sources. And then less than 7% of those should be from saturated fat. And saturated fats are those generally that are solid at room temperature. Common example would be butter, but there are a few exceptions like coconut or palm oils that do remain as liquids when they are at room temperature. So if you've ever been into an oil store or if you've ever been in the grocery store on the oil aisle, it can be a little overwhelming when you see how many different options that you have. So we're just going to walk through a couple of plant-based options and ways to use these different oils in your cooking. So first off, unsaturated fats. These are what we refer to as the good fats and the ones that you definitely want to incorporate into your daily diet because fats are important. However, there is a difference. So you do still want to use them in small amounts, but they are healthier, the healthier of the fat family, because they help to control LDL cholesterol. And LDL cholesterol is a low-density lipoprotein cholesterol, and it's referred to as the bad one because it delivers cholesterol to the walls of the blood vessels and causes narrowing of the vessel itself. The LDL levels greatly affect your risk of a heart attack and serve as a better gauge of risk than total cholesterol. So the lower your LDL, the lower your risk. So keep LDL low. HDL is your high-density lipoprotein cholesterol, and it's often referred to as the good cholesterol because it helps to remove cholesterol from your arteries and is involved in making different substances that the body needs. So examples of unsaturated fat sources are vegetable oils, soft tub margarines, olive oils, grapeseed, fish, nuts, avocados. You may have heard that like salmon is good for your brain health or for reducing inflammation, and it's because of those unsaturated fat properties. Now, saturated fats are ones that you want to eat or use very little of. They can actually raise those LDL cholesterols. So they come mostly from animal products like butter, beef, pork, dairy fats, but then also from some tropical oils like coconut, palm, and palm kernel oils. So these are going to be the ones that are like in your treats. So we want to make sure that we use very little of these as much as possible and try to get more of those unsaturated fats. So trans fats, you may have heard about this or may have seen it advertised on the front of a product that says 0 grams of no trans fat or no trans fat. The trans fat can be made from vegetable oils through a process called hydrogenation. Trans fat is naturally found in some amounts in animal products like meat, whole milk, milk products, but can also be found in processed foods like cakes, cookies, crackers, icings, margarines, microwave popcorns, and then other packaged baked goods, snacks, and frozen foods. So you want to avoid these if at all possible. Some tips for choosing healthy oils and fats include using liquid oils. So this is going to be like olive, canola, corn oil in place of solid fats like butter, shortening, coconut, or lard. Adding nuts and seeds to salads is a great option. You can put them on yogurt. Just have them as a snack is another way to get in some healthy fats, along with choosing fish that are rich in omega-3 fats like salmon, trout, and herring. And then again, limiting those saturated fats, which can be found in sausage, bologna, pepperoni. If you're cooking with ground beef or ground turkey, try to go for at least 90% lean or more. Limit your ice cream, baked goods, and heavy creams. Again, these have a lot of those saturated fats and potentially trans fats added to it. And then choosing baked, steamed, broiled options over fried foods. And then lastly, reading nutrition labels to avoid partially hydrogenated oils, or more commonly known as trans fats, in packaged foods like baked goods, snacks, and then some frozen foods as well. So our star for the day is Benne oil. Now this is, again, like I said, a sesame oil. It's a medium smoke point that's best suited for light sauteing, sauces, low heat baking. It does have a rich nutty flavor. And then the nutrition profile here, you'll see it's got 41% mono unsaturated fat, 44% polyunsaturated. And the difference in your mono and poly is just basically the chemical structure of the fatty acids. So mono unsaturated fats just have one double bond, and then polyunsaturated fats have multiple double bonds. So again, unsaturated fat in general, it's a good fat. Saturated is a little bit higher in your saturated fats. So these are just the ones that you want to try to limit, keep in smaller amounts, and just moderate. So we're going to use it in a roasted carrots recipe today. If you look at the ingredients, it is paired with local honey, sea salt, ponzu sauce. So these carrots are going to be roasted, and they're going to be so tasty. So this is a great way, just one option to use that Benne seed oil.
Hi guys, and welcome to this episode of Made at Home. I am Becca Stackhouse, and I am your Family and Consumer Science County Extension Agent for the University of Georgia, and I am based out of Crisp County. So today we are going to talk about carrots and using oils and some locally grown ingredients, and we're going to talk about some Georgia grown, which means that it is at least from our region of Georgia. And so we're going to talk about carrots, we're going to talk about oils, we're going to talk about some different benefits from those. Before we get started, I'm going to wash my hands real quick. So remember that anytime you get started in your kitchen, that you want to try to avoid any kind of foodborne illness that can be caused from simply just not washing your hands. So you've got 5 simple steps to wash those hands. Make sure that you've got 20 seconds, water, warm, with some soap. Scrub those hands, rinse them, and then dry them. And if you got little ones helping you, make sure they do it too. It's important. So as we get started, carrots are our topic today. So we're going to talk about carrots, but I want to share with you something special that's coming to you on this episode of Made at Home in October. So throughout the whole month of October, make sure that you are tuning in every Monday to learn about a different oil and learn a new recipe from it. So today's episode, we're going to talk about the Benne seed oil. And so all of the oils that we're going to be talking about this month are sponsored by Oliver Farms, which is locally based out of South Georgia. So we are going to experiment, and we're going to talk about ways that these oils are beneficial to you, but you can also have fun with them in the kitchen. So as we get started, the first thing we're going to do is we got a vegetable peeler and we got our carrots. So this is where you can get some help from those little hands, and it's safe for them to be able to help you peel those carrots. If you don't want to spend the time peeling the carrots, carrots, you can always go ahead and buy some little baby carrots that are already processed and skinned and all that for you. So our first step is going to be that. Now, why carrots? Let's talk. Well, carrots are something that have compounds that our body change into a vitamin A complex. And then it is also one that it helps protect your eyes. So your eyes get protection from you just simply eating some carrots, adding that orange rainbow level to your diet. Also, it helps with other eye problems. So the yellowing in the carrots is what is the good aspect for your eyes. So that is why adding carrots to your diet is important. So we chopped off the top, which is the green part that you see when it comes, if you've ever seen carrots coming out of the ground, you don't really see this part of the carrot. You only see that top portion of the carrot. So we're gonna get all the little skin, which if you want to eat the skin, you can eat it with the skin on. Either way. It's fun to see what size carrots grow in, because they're not all that little size that you get in the little carrot bags. They come in all kinds of sizes, just like everything that's grown. So get all the skin off. Then either have your trash can nearby or have a bowl to put the carrot peelings in, whatever works best for you. And then we're gonna slice them just a little bit so we have a little bit more of carrot stick consistent little sizes instead of just one giant carrot. If you want one giant carrot, you can eat it that way. But I'm gonna do it so that you can serve it with a multitude of things. It could be your fish side, it could be your chicken side, it could be your steak ribeye side. So you can add your carrots with any kind of thing. It's just gonna have that Benne seed flavoring, which is gonna be a little bit more of a sesame flavor that you get. So we're gonna set a few of our carrots aside so they don't quite fit in our bowl, but that's okay, we can use them in other things, right? So this is where you can bring math in. Have your kid help you quarter the carrots. Have them help you cut them in half. Let them use a little bit of their math skills that they've got. So we're gonna set our cutting board aside. And then our next process is gonna be adding our ingredients on. So we've got that. We're gonna add our Punzi sauce, which you got a teaspoon of that, so you're gonna drizzle it over. Then you're gonna add a teaspoon of salt. Then we need 2 tablespoons of our Oliver Farm Benne seed oil. So we're gonna use the little cap. So sprinkle it on. Sprinkle it on. So 2 tablespoons of that. This one is one that I really like. It's also one that I really use stir fry. Stir fry is a great place to add that little bit of taste. So then we're gonna add some of our honey here. We need about a tablespoon of honey. So we're gonna drizzle the honey over. We're gonna set our spoon, we're gonna set our honey aside. So that is what you're gonna do with your carrots. And we're gonna put them in the oven and they're gonna cook for about 25 to 35 minutes and you are waiting to get a soft, slightly caramelized carrot. So, we're gonna put it in the oven and we'll check back with it in 25 minutes. Time to get our carrots out of the oven. Check them out. They got that caramelized on them and they are our carrots have come out of the oven. So about 35 minutes to get that caramelization on those carrots, and we use that Oliver Farm Benne oil. So remember that you can get that oil and have it shipped anywhere that you live, but you can also use more than carrots. You could use asparagus, you could use broccoli, you could use green beans. Just make sure that you're getting some of those vegetables in to go along with your chicken and your turkey and your steaks that you're eating. Make sure that you're adding those. So let's get these plated. So if you were doing it with a dish, you just plate them alongside whatever that was. But we're just gonna plate them on their own little plate for now. That we have our Benne oil carrots caramelized and ready to serve with that meal. Thanks for joining us with this episode of Made at Home.
And lastly, just want to make sure that you know that you have our contact information. If you have any more questions, feel free to reach out. We will be posting an evaluation link on both of our Facebook pages. So if you don't mind filling that out for us, that way we know your thoughts on the presentation. We do have information as well about how and where you can purchase the Georgia grown items that were featured in this series too.